It's time for the Salt and Sass podcast when we share our love for the wonderful world of board games with you, whether you're a gaming veteran or just starting your tabletop journey. Welcome to episode 87. I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Mandi.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. It is always lovely having you here with us. Lovely to see you too, Ms. Mandi.
You too.
We're just talking about you came up with something super duper fun for this episode that I'm looking forward to trying. But we were just talking about how, for whatever reason, I have not been playing a lot of video games. A lot of times, we talk about board games and card games, but we open up, right, with the Omni gamers, and we both play a lot of video games. But I haven't been playing a lot the last couple of weeks for whatever reason. How about you?
In the same boat. It's been a really weird week. Stuff going on here. It's definitely on the work front. It's been keeping me busy. So I have a list of games eventually I'll get to, but I just haven't had time. Although I will mention Animal Crossing had an update recently.
Yes,
I did download it.
Yeah.
I tried to play it. I had my Switch ready and I fell asleep after like 4 minutes. I was so tired. So
That's okay. It'll be there for you when you're ready. I downloaded the update too. I haven't dug in. But I think you'll like it, Mandi, because they added a hotel and you have missions to decorate all the different rooms in the hotel. So
Okay,
I think you're
it.
gonna really like it.
Exciting.
Yes. And I know that you did a stream just before you, poor thing. You've already had a long day today because you streamed earlier today before we're recording, right?
Did, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I did half of Act 1 in Hoplomachus Victorum. So for those who don't know what that is, it is a solo chip theory game, and my stream was it was about 4 hours, and we got about halfway or just over halfway in Act 1. I had streamed a little bit when I was kind of learning the rules the first time, but I was like, oh yeah, there's still more to do. So I was like, let's do a proper stream. Did that today. And just to give people an idea of what it was about. And so I'm a little tired, but it was fun.
Oh my gosh, that is a hefty chonker of a game. And I mean, kudos to Chip Theory that it amazing production. But yeah, that would be quite the stream. So good job, Mandi.
Yeah, no, thanks. Considering I'm not a solo gamer, it was a lot. So I'm going to post it. It's on Twitch right now, but I'll probably end up posting it over to YouTube for those of you to check it out and see me sort of get my butt kicked, but maybe not. You'll have to watch.
Amazing. And then, so before we jump in, we're going to skip crowdfunding. Today, Mandi, you came up with something really cute and fun. We'll talk about games you've been playing and then wrap up with a game pie, a look back game pie that kind of broke my brain a little bit, but that's okay. Before that, though, just, here we are in January 2026. And for those of you listening, you're probably aware that there's some really challenging things happening in the United States where I live. Mandi, of course, you're Canadian, and we discussed this before the episode. And, thank you for your grace for giving me this opportunity. And I know that you're highly supportive of this as well. But currently, our federal government is attacking a sovereign, like a state, and attacking the people. And it's terrible. And unfortunately, they are basically murdering civilians at this point. And of course, anybody who's listening to this show or who knows Mandi and I know that we are vocal advocates for things like diversity, equity, inclusion, safety in the hobby, but that comes from our core values, right? And our core ethics. And while we don't really get into quote unquote politics here, we're not going to shy away from it. And that was one of our New Year's resolutions, I think a couple years ago now, where we were going to bring up the cultural issues that impacted specifically our hobby. So while this specific thing doesn't necessarily impact the hobby, it is so big to me and to probably a lot of you listening. The way that we want to acknowledge it is I'm going to read a statement from the parents of Alex Pretti, who was murdered by an ICE agent just a couple of days ago from the time of this recording. Statement from the family of Alex Pretti, Michael and Suzanne Pretti. We are broken, but also very angry. Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends, and also the American veterans whom he cared for as an ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital. Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. I do not throw around the hero term lightly. However, his last thought and act was to protect a woman. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. He has his phone in his right hand, and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman ICE just pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man. Thank you. So I certainly personally thank the family for making that statement. And I wanted to pay homage to Alex and follow the words of his parents and doing whatever small thing we could to help spread the word as they have asked. So thank you very much. And Mandi, thank you for that. And everybody out there, thank you for listening. I suspect that if you listen to our podcast regularly, you understand why we wanted to make that time.
Absolutely.
Moving forward, Mandi, switching gears, switching energy, trying to focus on maybe being a little bit of frivolity in tough times for people, or just goofy for goofy sakes, because there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What have you mixed up here, girl?
I know. I always like to try some fun, interesting things on the podcast. And of course, Suzanne's going to be on the end of this interesting thing.
To be clear, she told me about this like 10 minutes ago. I have no idea. Oh boy.
So I decided to just randomly come up with this game. Now, I didn't make up this game. I've seen it done before on other content creators channels and stuff in other areas. And I decided we would call this little segment the Game Shelf Gauntlet. Name is subject to change, but I kind of like where this is going. So what I'm going to do, let me start off with, you can play along. All right. And the reason I say that is because you don't know what's coming, but Suzanne also doesn't know what's coming.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
So I have a list of 6 mid-weight euros. So that's the theme of this one. And I guess it's kind of a ranking system thing, but with a bit of that surprise element, because you don't know what's coming at you. So I have 6 mid-weight euros. I'm going to name them off one at a time. And there's a rating system. So Suzanne has to decide where it's going to sit. And she's only allowed to have 2 games per shelf, I guess you could say. So the rating system goes forever keep. So this is like an absolute favorite. This is always going to stay in the collection. There's a situational keep. Good, but it's going to depend on the mood or group, how that's going to work. Or potentially a cullet. It's just not something that you think will stay in your collection, or something that you don't think, according to this list, it's got to go somewhere. It's not one of the other 2. So you're not going to keep it in this circumstance. So forever keep, situational keep, cullet.
Just to clarify the rules here a little bit, Mandi. So if I declare 2 games situational, and then a game comes up that I'm like, I gotta have, I can't, like, I could be, or if I call 2 games up front, just get,
Sure.
And then I come to, and then you actually say a game I don't like, I have to keep it.
You have to figure out whether it's a situational keep or it's a forever keep.
Working me into a corner. I'm so well, thank you for coming out with it. I'm looking forward to trying it.
Thought it'd be silly fun. And it's always curious to be like, dang, now that I'm in this situation, like, what would I actually do? So you can play along too, people who are listening, because you don't know what's coming, and neither does Suzanne. So remember, 2 games can only fit in these little, not even calyx, it's like a quarter of a calyx. Okay, so once it's full, can't put anything else in there. All right, and I'm going to track it as well, because I need to make sure that I'm not, Suzanne only has that space. Okay, let's start. So the theme of today is midweight euros. And again, I tried to pick some ones that are ones I know generally are overall fairly well liked. All right, first one, Suzanne. Now remember, forever keep, situational keep, or cullet, a feast for Odin.
Oh, what are you doing to me? A feast for Odin?
I started strong.
You wicked, wicked woman. A feast for Odin. Cullet.
Really?
Yes, cullet. There are other games that do similar things, from the polyomino puzzle and the kind of Uva thing, the big, heavy, Uva thing.
Wow.
I like other ones of his games more, and I think that I could parcel together those pieces of the collection and lose Feast of Odin. Oh my gosh, I hate this game.
Didn't see that coming. And I probably should preface it by midweight euro. I based it on, it's about a level 3 or so out of 5 on BGG.
Okay. Oh my
All right,
god.
so the first one here is on the Cullet list, A Feast for Odin. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, next
Wow.
one. Yeah, I know. I picked some strong ones. Okay. Paladins.
Oh, Paladins. Which one is
Sorry, Paladins, the one from Renegade Games. It's part of
that series? But
the series.
what's the core mechanism of Paladins? Let me look this. I actually have
So
to look up
Paladins
Paladins
is the one
of the
that
West
has,
Kingdom.
yeah, it's the big one. It's the one that has like the tiers in the middle.
Oh, I like Paladins.
I know
So
you
there's,
do.
I think it's Paladins and Viscounts that
Counts,
I actually really,
Paladins,
really like.
Yeah, and then there's Architects, which is
those are my favorite in the series. Paladins, I like the tableau. Situational keep.
Okay, so situational. That one I knew could be hit or miss because I know some we also haven't played for a while. I think we actually played it together, but I knew that you would enjoyed it. So okay, I saw that going somewhere. The White Castle.
No, oh no, I hate this game. Oh god,
it's so brutal
because I don't know what's coming.
Right, could be something super like even more so that you're like I love, because I tried to pick games that I know that you enjoy to some level. It's to what level?
That's the problem. To be clear, I like Feast for Odin.
Absolutely.
But
that's
you
why
just
I picked
made
it.
you made me kill it, Mandi.
I know, I'm sorry.
White Castle.
Yeah, this
that giggle you just gave was so evil.
I know, it's really bad.
All right, we gotta move forward. This is supposed to take 30 minutes. Okay. White Castle, call it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you are surprising me, actually.
So White Castle, I like a lot. It is a little fussy for me, and I would put it into situational.
Okay.
But I'm worried, I'm so scared about what else you have coming. So it's not that I want to call it. It's that I'm more worried that you're going to put Kalis, and then I'll have to cut Kalis, which I could never do. So, all right. So White Castle, I'm calling it. A little fussy, just pushes it over the edge for me.
So now remember that now
I have no more calls, so I'm keeping everything else.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay.
Oh no, you set me up.
Okay. Hold on. Let me, sorry, I lost my list here. Okay, there we go. Underwater cities.
Forever. Forever. Top 100 game for me. Love Underwater Cities. Never letting that baby go. Hey, friends out there, because you've helped me before. Everybody listening and watching. The newest Underwater Cities expansion is impossible to find and get to the US. So if somebody has a hook on it, I'll buy it, I'll pay for shipping, whatever. I cannot find it. My friend Josh and I were just talking about it. He's looking too. If you have a,
I don't have it either.
Yeah. If you have an avenue to now apparently 3 copies of this expansion, please let me know. All right, moving along. But yeah, Underwater Cities forever. No problem.
Okay. I have another game on this list. I don't know if it's considered a midweight Euro, but I'm going to throw it out here and I have another option if we don't consider that one. Council of 4.
I would have called Council of 4. Dang it.
I know.
Dang it.
That's
you set me up. So Council of 4 is a situational. I do like it. So to be clear, I do like it. I actually have 2 versions of this, but I'm going to call the newer one because Simon did an edition of it.
Right. That's the edition I have.
Simon did the Simon thing, right? It's got extra minis, the brighter art, things like that. I actually think the original Council 4, which thankfully I do still have, is more playable just from because the gameplay is the same, right? And I actually am going to keep the older Euro version I have and get rid of the Simon. But I do like Council 4. But I would have kept my castle over Council 4.
Yeah, that was a little evil on my part because I knew that you liked it.
All right.
But I
last game. So last game, no matter what it is, it has to be my forever game, right?
Yep. And then we'll do a quick recap. So the last one is Keyflower.
I'm actually okay with this one. I'm actually okay with Keyflower being a forever game. It could be situational because my thing on Keyflower, right? Keyflower is this great auction game almost, right? Where and you're moving around, you're building out a little tableau. I did learn the hard way that if you're gonna play a big game of Keyflower, you gotta know the people you're playing with.
Oh, yeah, that happened to me too.
One of the worst gaming experiences I ever
Uh-huh.
had at a convention was over a game of Keyflower.
Me too.
Not because the person was mean or bad, which is a different kind of
No.
terrible, but oh my god, a 3-hour game became a 5-hour game.
Yep.
It was a nightmare.
That's exactly it.
But not the game's fault. Keyflower's a great game. I'm good with it.
Okay, so just in case one of these wasn't good, I had a couple options, but those are the 6. So quickly running down the list, we'll start with Cullet, Feast for Odin, White Castle, Situational Keep, Paladins, Council of Four, Forever Keep, Underwater Cities, and Keyflower.
Well, thank you, Mandi. All right, well, I look forward to turning the tables on you on, the Gauntlet sometime soon. That
Yes,
was really
and
fun.
everybody playing along.
Yes.
Hopefully, once we get it all set up, I'd love to know. I'd actually love to see other people's lists in the
Yeah, so if you're watching this
in
on
the forum.
YouTube, drop it in the comments, or if you
Yeah.
prefer, drop your Gauntlet answers in the, BGG guild thread. I definitely wanna see because oh, yeah, and don't try not to cheat. Tell us what your first
Yeah, be
reactions were,
honest.
and then, like, if you got hosed the way I did by Mandi, then you can also comment on that.
And if this is like a segment that you like, this might be something we do a bit more regularly. So let us know.
That was fun. Thanks, Mandi.
Thanks for doing that.
Alrighty, well, with that little fun game out of the way, we're going to be talking about a couple of games that we've been playing and then serving up a look back game pie. It's a little uneven. Interesting. All right. Mandi, take it away.
Okay, so I've had this game on my shelf for quite some time, and you know, it happens, but I'm like, oh, I really want to play it. I played it briefly, but now I really got to play it some more with my game group, and that is Akropolis. Now, have you played this one, Suzanne? I think you have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I have played Akropolis.
Okay, so Akropolis is designed by Jules Massot, and art is by Pauline Détraz, and it's published by Gigamic, but I think also Hachette was also doing some publishing with this as well. It's for 1 to 4 players and plays about 20 to 30 minutes, and it retails for about $36. So Akropolis, it's a tile-laying game. We do love a good tile-laying game. And we play the roles of ancient city planners, and we're trying to build our, what they say, Greek metropolis. So we're building up our tiles. On a turn, you're going to draft, they have these multi kind of hex tiles from the market. So what's going to happen before I jump into that? We all have like a starting kind of tile area that we have, and then there's going to be a market of tiles that we're going to take from. And depending on where you pick it up will depend on how much it's going to cost you, and that cost is based on these little tokens you have, which I think it represent rocks or something like this. I can't remember exactly what it is, but you need to have them in order to get tiles further down the line. And you're trying to expand certain areas of your board because there are different types of terrains. You know, you've got your pool kind of areas or water. You have, I love me, the purple areas, the yellow areas. You just have different colored tiles, and depending on the ones that you have will depend on how they score. Like some of them you might want, like you want a big area of water versus like the red tiles, you want them on opposite ends. You know, you don't want them touching each other. So having them on the outsides, for example, things like that. So you want to be cognizant of that. So you're going to try and get those on your turn, but there are some turns where you just need to cover certain things and just get some more currency so you can buy more tiles. Now, this is a type of game too where it layers. So you want to try and build up layers because that is also going to count toward your scoring depending on how high up it is. And I think that also is based on how many of those, no, I think the rocks is based on how many, you have to cover a certain terrain in order to get rocks. I say rocks, I don't know if that's what it is, or stones, but they're just gray cubes that you're going to use to buy your stuff. That's all you need to know. So you play all that until a set amount of tiles are gone. And then based on the scoring criteria for the different terrains, then you're going to score. And then obviously based on the levels that you have as well. There is also a variant that you can play, which makes it a bit more challenging. So for example, like you need red tiles that are like on the opposite side of here, but then you also need to have it surrounded by XYZ. Do you know what I mean? So, or it needs to be beside something else. So it just makes it a little bit more challenging. And that it is because trying to get those tiles when someone else keeps taking them is very frustrating, but that's the name of the game. So overall, I really like this game, but I really like that every tile you have is useful. So whether it's just one, I'm going to place it and get some more currency, I'm going to place it to start something for scoring, everything feels like that placement matters, which I really, really appreciate. And the scoring is really clever, which allows you to kind of, hey, maybe I can't focus on this, but I'm going to push this. And people can see that and decide to go in a different direction or sabotage you. But I feel like they'd be sabotaging themselves in the process. So that is something to consider. But it's a very approachable game. The rules are very straightforward. And if you want that challenge, like so you can do the variant rules. And the quality of components are really good. They're really thick. The tiles,
The
I was really
tiles, yeah.
impressed by that. I was like,
Yeah.
what? It's so good. Like quality, chef's kiss. Amazing. So, so good. And it is definitely one of those games where it's like a just one more game because we played and then we're like, okay, well, let's play again, but let's play with the variant and let's try it, so we played like 3 times back to back because it's super snappy. But you still felt like you did something. So I really, really enjoyed it. So Akropolis for me was a hit. Great time, decisions mattered, and everybody enjoyed it. Whether you're into heavy games, light games, just super approachable. So Akropolis for me was a winner. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I'm on the same page 100%. It's a really nice game,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that you liked it.
Thanks.
First up for me, roll and write. Yay! I love when I get to talk about roll and write games. This is my favorite. Yeah, I know, right?
Shocking.
In spite of the punny names sometimes. So first game
fair.
up for me is Raw and Right. R-A, like the Egyptian god. Raw and Right. Designed by Reiner Knizia with illustration and graphic design by Ian O'Toole.
Ooh,
Published
fabulous.
by, I know, right? Published by 25th Century Games. And I believe this retails for $30 US. It plays 2 to 5 people. Cool. On Right is a roll and write loosely associated with the game Raw, the popular board game Raw, auction game, what have you. But I don't know. It's there. It's the same setting. I don't know if it. Some roll and writes really evoke. Like I think that like let's make a bus route duo roll and write. Really, anyway, like I think sometimes they really do evoke the board game, and I think sometimes they
Sure.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't really care as long as the game is good, to be honest.
Fair.
I don't care how much it evokes. I would say this one's a little further out on the evoking the raw game, is what it is. All right. In Raw and Right, it's actually card driven. So you've got this huge stack of cards and you're going to shuffle them up. And the core mechanism is you flip over 3 cards. The active player picks one for themselves, and everybody else at the table gets to choose from the other 2 cards to mark their sheet. And the game plays in 3 ages or rounds, eras, something like that. And when 3 raw cards come up, which are just shuffled in the deck, so you don't know when they're come up, that ends the first era. You score. Then you keep playing. When 3 more raw cards come out of the deck, the second era ends. Score. And then finally, when the 3rd raw card in the last set comes up, the round ends, the game is over, you score up. So you really, like, theoretically, if you got a weird shuffle, you could be done in just a few turns. Now, that hasn't happened to me, but you could. A little bit of the push your luck, a little bit of the unknown thing. And since you're all playing simultaneously, you all are writing every turn, it doesn't super matter, but it's an interesting little twist. So the way the rest of the game works is that everybody gets a sheet, and you have all these cards. Well, the sheet is split into 5 areas, and each area you fill in a little differently, and it scores a little differently, and it's all driven by those cards. So at the top, you have like a god row, and it has 3 different sections. And so if you fill that in, and a god card comes up, and you choose it, whether the active player, it's just left on the table for you, there's a number on it. You fill in that number, and at the end of the round, the person with the highest points, the highest number value when it's added up, wins that section. Right below it is a Pharaoh section. Yeah. And you're just filling it in from left to right, with X's. So every time a Pharaoh card comes up, you just write an X in that row, X in that row, X in that row. And whoever gets the furthest down that row during the scoring gets the points. Now, these top 2 rows are important because the person who gets the most gets 5 points. The person who gets the least loses 5 points. Oh, Dr. Knizia, you scamp. And then everybody in the middle gets 0 points for those rows. Okay, the last 3 sections. There's a Nile, which plays a little like Welcome to, Mandi, if you remember Welcome to.
Yeah, I like that one.
a card flips over and it has a value on it, 1 through 20, and you can write that number anywhere in the row, but at the end, numbers always have to get bigger, equal or bigger too, as you go left to right. Yeah. And you're just going to score points, that kind of thing. So that's the Pharaoh row, the Nile row. And then there's a Civ section that has grids, and you're just kind of filling in the grids according to specific banners that match the 5 columns. And at the bottom is the important monument section. There's 8 different monuments. When the monument card comes up, you just mark off under that monument. Cool. And so there are 5 sections, and there are cards specifically associated with each of those 5 sections. So those cards are flipping over, and you're kind of choosing, oh, well, which one am I working on? Which one do I want to fill in? Where am I prioritizing? It is in the rule book. You have to leave your sheet visible because there is that competitive with everybody else at the table. So you want to know what other people are going for, that kind of thing. Like I already talked about how the game ended with that 3rd round of 3 raw cards, and then you score up all the different sections. There are bonuses you can get in terms of if you fill the whole top row of the monuments section by the end of the game, you get 10 bonus points. Or if you fill in all of the Nile, you get a bonus 10 points. The other element that's really important is that different spots throughout the sheet, or when you meet certain criteria, it will let you combo. It will let you, oh, hey, you get to this point on the Nile, you get a free Pharaoh mark. Or in the Pharaoh row, you get to this point, now you can mark off a monument of your choice, that kind of thing. So you are trying to strategically also sometimes move up to certain points so you can get that bonus mark off. Cool. That's the whole game. It's really simple, really straightforward, easy to teach, quick to play. And I would say it's pretty satisfying. I really enjoy Raw and Right. Yeah, I think it's solid. You have these 5 different sections. They all score a little differently. The card mechanism's really clean. And we've talked about this a lot with the people I've been playing with. And it's like, well, it is really, really good. Who is it for? Because Mandi, as you may know, I really like roll and write games.
No, you don't say.
Nice, shock, surprise. I own literally hundreds of them.
Yeah.
That's not normal. And so I can be like, oh yeah, I really like roll and write, but do I want to play Welcome to instead? Or, maybe I prefer 21 or whatever, like to different sections. But then I step back and I'm like, but wait a minute. Not everybody's weird like me and has all these roll and write games. And
weird.
Not everybody's played games as long as we have, Mandi.
Sure.
Or played as many games as we have. And I own a lot of games that you can't even get anymore, right? Because they're out of print. And so who is this game for? Well, it is a solid roll and write style game. It's fun. It's got some strategic decisions. Everybody's active. It's a pretty quick play, predictable time, plays 2 to 5, $30 retail. I recommend it. Is it one that I'm going to pull out the time? I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
Because I own 300 more roll and write games. But if you don't have a huge collection of roll and write games and you're looking for something with a little bit of, a step up from like a quarto or something like that, a quinto or what, I can't even think of all of them.
Quinto, I know. I know what you mean.
I think Raw and Write is a great choice. I do recommend it. I do like it. I am keeping it because I keep all my roll and writes. Yeah. I will play it again. I will happily teach it. I'll probably bring it to this local game convention I'm going to in a few weeks and teach it a bunch there because I really, really like it. Yeah. So if you're looking for a roll and write, it's definitely worth peeking at. If you're like me and you have 300, well, it's another nice one for the shelf.
Do you keep? There's only one I think I did not keep, and it was Alhambra.
I am emotionally ready to get rid of some of them if I need to.
Got it.
That's
a good one. That's a good one for our next gauntlet.
Okay, I will say, and I will say this some ways to Sunday, with respect to the designers, I know making games is hard. Sure. I have not disliked a game as much as the Kingsburg roll and write game.
Yeah.
I think I still have it somewhere. But yeah, if I need to clear that box space, it's going out the door.
Fair enough. Okay.
I don't like everyone.
So do I need to try this one is what you're saying?
I like it, Mandi, and I think you would like it. And depending on like your group, because I know that you play with a wide variety of people, I think it's really nice. Yeah.
Okay. I'll add it to the Ever-growing list of games I need to
I
try.
know.
Well, the last game that I'm going to talk about today is a trick-taking game. I feel like I'm on a run with trick takers.
You've been playing a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of these little games that I find harder to pull out because I've been playing with a lot of people that like heavier games. So finally they're like, yeah, no, let's throw some lighter games on the pile there. So Fork, and I think we had a conversation that you had played this, Suzanne?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking
Yep.
of something. It was you.
I
Okay.
have played Fork, yeah.
Yeah, and Fork is designed by Tate Wu, and I think I also talked about a game last podcast from Tate.
Oh, yeah. Sunrise, yeah.
And art is by Lily Chin and Tate Wu, published by Sunrise Tornado Game Studio. It plays 2 to 6 players, and it plays about 20 minutes, so it's a quick play. And it retails for about 13 lovely Canadian dollars, so convert that as you will. So it is meant to be kind of a light trick-taking game, and if the name tells you anything, it's about, well, I don't want to say food, but it is, but not in the way that you think. It's players competing as hungry animals, and you're trying to get the best food before everybody else does. Yeah, that sounds really bad now that I'm thinking about it, but you're animals, you're hungry, you gotta eat. You got some bunnies and foxes and owls and all the things. That's what's that? Not Circle of Life. The oh my gosh, words, Mandi. Food chain. Thank you. Got it.
For people who only listen, Mandi's hemming and hawing, and all she's doing is she's got her finger pointed at the TV, at the monitor, and she's just like waving her finger up and down like I'm supposed to get food.
You're supposed
chain.
to know that is food chain.
That's not food chain. Wait, nobody's gonna food chain.
That's gonna be a thing now. I just need a shirt that does that. Food chain. Okay. So, oh, I'm crying. That's so funny. In Fork, every card represents either a food, an herbivore, a carnivore, and the interesting thing is how these are going to interact. Okay, so food cards are worth points. Herbivores eat the food, carnivores eat the herbivores, and the winner of the trick isn't always the highest number, but the creature that survives the food chain. Oh, look, the word was right there for me. I write these notes in advance, by the way. So each round, players are going to secretly choose a card. And I should mention that there's like a terrain tile or something that like whoever's the leading the trick, they have to choose like what terrain card needs to be played. Like in trick-taking games, you have to follow the suit. That's what's going to happen here. You can play off suit if you don't have that. But obviously, if you have any kind of abilities, they won't trigger because you're not following suit. So players secretly choose a card, reveal simultaneously, and then this is where you potentially could have your, I'm using an example off the top of my head, you're like, ooh, my rabbit might be able to eat this, leafy kale or whatever it is, but then the owl might get you first. And then there are some cards that kind of break that. I think, is it the fox card? It's been a little while. So, which is, I think, a little different. Well, I think the fox is the highest number card, but you can only have so many of them in play. And then they're like the food cards, which obviously you want to try and keep because those are the ones that have points. But depending on if somebody's animal gets to it first, when you go around to see who wins the card, you may think you're going to get the card, but somebody else might end up taking it. So that's the gist of the game. And it's pretty short. So then it finishes after, X amount of rounds. I think it's when you have no more cards and then it's game over. So yes, it's definitely one of these ones where like, oh, yes, no, should I, oh gosh. And you know how many foxes people have. So you kind of want to play yours at a good time. Oh, great. They played theirs. Great. Now I know when I could eventually play mine. And this actually came up when we were talking about it, that playing simultaneously matters because one of the cards you actually have to play face up. And I can't remember if it's a food card, one of the kale cards. I can't remember off the top of my head, but one of the cards you have to play face up, and that matters because now I'm like, you're giving out information, right? So this was something we tossed with, like, does that need to be played simultaneously or do they play it and then we play face down? But we decided simultaneously would be the fairest way to play. But yes, that's information that you get to see. So the rules are fairly simple, but I do like the theming of the whole food chain, right? Like, this is going to eat this, is going to eat this, but there's always a little surprise because you may think you're going to get something, and by the time it comes around to now, that person already ate this, you're not getting anything. So I really enjoyed the theming of this. It's really quick, it's short. It took a few minutes for the rules, I think, the first time around for everybody to kind of get it, but it's definitely not as complicated as some other trick-taking games that I've seen pop up as of late. So it comes in a really small box. The art is super cute. It almost has that, not origami, but it has that kind of, I don't know the art style, but it's not soft. Like, it's not that rounded, cutesy cartoon. It's a little more angular, and I kind of like that for this. It's really cute. So I like the theme. I like the gameplay, pretty straightforward, and I think it can appeal to a lot of people, and it plays in a really quick amount of time. Fork for me is very good. I would like another helping, please.
Excellent. I'm so glad that you like it. I liked it too when I played it. It
It's
has
cute.
been a little while since I've played it, but so I don't remember the details, but I remember
Yeah.
enjoying it as well. The last game I'm going to talk about today is it's a goofy one, Mandi. It's real goof. It's called Ubibo. And if you haven't, boy, Ubibo. All right. So Ubibo is designed by Magnet.
Oh,
And we have whatever graphic design and illustration by Kanako Ichimori. It's published by Jelly Jelly Games and plays 2 to 8 players. I have no idea how much this game costs. I can't find it anywhere to repurchase it. This was purchased from Game Market, imported from Game Market.
got it.
Ubibo, apparently Ubi means finger and bo means stick in Japanese. So Ubibo is finger stick. And it's when you open the box, it's a bunch of sticks, some foam balls, and a deck of cards. All right.
Fair. All right. I'm waiting for this to.
So you get a group of friends. You kind of want to be hopefully around a round table or a square table. You want people to be approximately equidistant, seated equidistant. Because, Mandi, this is a dexterity game. Stick with me. Stick with me. Let's see how you feel about this. Because you're also about team building in games, right?
True. I do like that.
So stick with me.
All right.
Players all pick a color. Like there's 8 different colors. And you just pick one, right? And you can put the card in front of you to mark what it is. Then you take all the cards related to that color. Those are the active players. Shuffle up into a deck, and that's how you're going to play. And basically, the cards all have illustrations of a hand on it with a finger highlighted. And the way that what happens is that you got to flip over a card, and the finger indicated is the finger that has to be used. And you are going to, with the person that has the color of the card, you have to hold a stick between those fingers on one of your hands to one of the hands of the other person with that finger. You are suspending a stick between your fingers. You're both applying pressure on either end of the stick with one finger to hold it up in the air. Yeah, is real goofy. Cool. Then another card is picked up and the next player goes, right? And then, if Ashley is sitting across from you, Mandi, and Stefan is sitting between us, well, then Stefan has to reach over to Ashley for that finger, right?
Oh,
and you got, maybe they have to use pinky. So now we're like, you and I are trying, we got to move our hands down a little bit so that Stefan and Ashley can get over our hands with their stick. Yeah. And then the next player goes. And then it's just do that. And but now, Mandi, wait a minute. I've got my middle finger pressing on a stick with you, but now Ashley and I have to push one together with my pinky finger. But no. It's
wild.
So
wild.
Goofy. Now, and so you win. The game is seeded by player count, so you know how many players, and that's how many sticks you have to do. When you win the game, if you get all the sticks suspended.
Okay.
And you lose if a single stick drops. You're going to lose a lot. Just saying, going to lose a lot. Because those sticks are, it's so hard. But it's super fun. I mean, it's so goofy. It's so fun. It's so silly. You can play it with people of any age. It was great at a convention. It's great with families. Kids like it. It's interesting because it's almost harder for kids. It's a goofy dexterity game, but what you find, and this is where the team building comes in, is that you have to communicate. It's easy to dismiss it as a doofy dexterity game, which it is. But I think when you really get into it and you really start experiencing, you realize you are communicating. You have to cooperate. You have to coordinate. You have to talk to each other about, okay, Stefan and Ashley have to do that. All right, Mandi, I'm going to push a little harder and let's move our hand down slowly. Okay, stop. Is that enough room? Yeah, you got enough room? Okay, now, Stefan, okay. And then you're like, okay, next turn. Let's just twist this way a little, twist. you are communicating and you're working together to achieve this goofy goal.
Sure.
I I really enjoyed it. It's silly as heck.
Yeah, but
But
all good.
there's something there. Now that's the easy mode.
Oh gosh, there's
There, I
more.
mentioned that there are some balls. There are these soft foam balls. There's also a mode where you have to suspend a ball on top of your sticks as you're
Gosh.
going. I, I'm good with the basic, but whatever. There you go. Ubibo, if that's your jam, this is your jam. It's super duper fun. And I guarantee you, it's full of laughs. You have to laugh while you're playing it.
God.
And if you are at a convention, because I've played this at conventions, everybody who sees you play is just going to be staring at you and watching. It's very engaging. So that is Ubibo finger sticks.
Oh my god. That's a choice. It definitely sounds entertaining. I will give it that.
There you go. All right, Mandi, there that was quite the game to talk about. I'm so glad I got to. We were talking about Game Pie, and I think that we landed in an interesting spot considering what our pies look like.
Yeah.
So, Mandi, we were like, what do we do for Game Pie? And it's always a struggle for us. And it's been a while since we picked a year. Let's pick a year. And then we kind of went back and forth about, well, let's pick a more recent year. And then we're looking at recent years. Well, we talk about those games a lot. So let's go back a little further. So where did we land?
We landed on games, and I did not write it in here. Suzanne, where did we land?
I think we landed on.
Hold on, wait, have it.
We landed on.
So it's 2006.
Yes, we went
2006.
20 years back.
Sorry. There we go.
Which is wild because it's weird to think that 2006 is 20 years ago.
Yeah, long time.
20 years ago sounds like so long, but then you say 2006 and it doesn't feel that long ago.
That's true, actually. Fair point.
But what happened when we looked at the games that came out in 2006, Mandi?
Yeah, so this was tricky for me because there were a few games on the list. I'm like, yeah, like I've played it. But would I put it on a list that I want to recommend to other people that, hey, I really enjoy this, you might like it too? No. My list was short. I had one in 2006. Doesn't mean I didn't play a lot of games on there. I did. They're just not ones that I was like, ooh, I want to put on this list. Versus you, Suzanne, you had a very different view on this because your list is quite full.
That's right. So I guess we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go last. Maybe you should go last.
No, it'll go first. And then that way you can just get your flow and then do the thing.
All right. I love what you picked. So.
Okay, yeah. So mine is for my first and only slice of 2006 Game Pie. It's Quirkle. And it's funny, we were just having a discussion about Quirkle, and it's a game that I think I have. Is it an app? I feel like it's an app. I've definitely played it digitally somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's got an app.
Yeah,
too.
and then I also had the physical game, and it is considered like an abstract strategy game. And it's one that has like these blocks with different colors, and you're trying to line. It almost reminds me of Dominoes a little bit, and that's probably why I like it. Where you're trying to put those blocks together, but I need to share they have shapes on them, right? So it has to, so if I lay it down, the orange circle, I'm just throwing a shape here, would have to be beside another kind of orange circle. And you're trying to, get areas or groupings or lines of those same type shapes and colors. That's literally the game. And then I think there's like a way to, it's been a long time since I've played it, by the way, but it is one that I played a lot. And you get points based on how you configure your board with those shapes and getting them together. Quirkle's been around for a long time, obviously, 2006. And it's one of those games that I love it. I can just pull it up, play it super fast. Oh, that's great. I enjoyed that. My mom really likes it. I feel there was another game that was very similar to this that came out later. And it's not coming to me right now, but Quirkle is always one that I always come back to. So Quirkle for me, definitely a top game, and my only game from 2006 that I'm happy to recommend to all of you.
I love that. I love Quirkle. I love Quirkle. I think it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought it up. And it's interesting that you say that I can recommend, because I'm actually going to start my Game Pie with I debated about this one. I forget why the heck not. Because I don't know if I recommend it. And
And I've had that before, where I've had games where I like it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to recommend it though. Yep.
Yep.
I hear you.
And you and I had some discussions as we're looking at years. There are games that we enjoy as games, but for other reasons, like
Yep.
for example, the designer maybe not being somebody that we think is a healthy person to be influencing the industry. We're like, we don't need to promote that game. There's lots of good games.
Because guess what, everybody? That matters. Continue.
It certainly does. So the first game, I'm going to be really transparent about why I like it and why I don't recommend it. So first slice up for me, and we'll end on a more positive note, is a game called Tomahawk. Tomahawk is a 2006 game designed by two huge names in the industry, Bruno Catala and Bruno Faiduti, the two Brunos. And oftentimes when you have the two Brunos together, they come up with some really interesting games.
Sure.
Tomahawk is a two-player only lane battling game. I love lane battling games. If you don't know what lane battling is, think of Battle Lore. Sean Totten, Battle Lore, Battle Line, not Battle Lore, Battle Line.
Yep.
Yeah, Battle Line.
I know what you
Sean Totten, Air, Land, and Sea, Mandi, which you've played and
which I really enjoyed.
Riftlands, I think Riftland. Anyway, lots of them. Love that style of game. And yeah, you've got this lane battle. You're committing cards with different values to your side of a battlefield, and you're building it up and trying to win those basically area control. Cool. Solid mechanically game. Tomahawks is also one of the most racist and sexist games that I think has ever been produced. It's abhorrent. It is ostensibly set in the Old West. It is uses First Nations tribes as their theme. That's why it's called Tomahawk. It uses fairly racist caricatures of First Nations people, including mixing symbolism of tribes that would not, of elements that wouldn't be part of that. There is a woman character in a pink fur bikini. There's hugely racist caricature illustrations. The way you score points is they are scalps. You collect scalps as point tokens.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not joking. It's atrocious. It's horrible. It should never have been made, and it should never be made again in this format. Dang. So, I hate that the game exists. I hate that I really think it's mechanically solid, and maybe someday somebody will bring it back to life in a much more pleasant way. But Tomahawk, a mechanically strong game from 2006 that I think should die in a fire.
But I'm glad you highlighted it because, sure, it has, good gameplay mechanics, but you've also highlighted some of the challenges with some of ththese games that were acceptable.
Just 20 years ago.
In the day,
but
that's not that long ago, to be clear.
It's not. 20 years ago sounds. Oh well, so much has changed since in 20 years.
Has it though?
But also when you say 2006, it's like, well, this should never have existed in 2006 in this format anyway.
Absolutely.
The fetishization of anyway. All right.
Yeah, but I appreciate you mentioning it.
Yeah. Next, on to better things. My next slice of 2006 games, Neuroshima Hex 3.0. Had no idea that it's 20 years old. This is a great game. And if you like Neuroshima Hex, you should check out Portal Games because I think Ignacy, the designer and publisher, has been talking about how hard it is to keep games in print and the challenges of the industry as it is right now. And here we have a 20-year-old game trying to survive. And it sounds like they might not be printing more of it in the near future, which is a shame because Neuroshima Hex is an excellent tactical game where hexagon tiles serve as your units, and the edges will have markings about range and firing power and skill and abilities. Factions. And they all play asymmetrically. It's really, really a good game for that. I love it, and I hope other people discover it as well. So that's Neuroshima Hex. One of the things too, Mandi, because my next game is Battle Lore. Battle Lore is the fantasy set game that uses the Memoir 44 system of card-based battle with 3 zones and things like that. And I like Memoir 44. I like Battle Lore better because I like fantasy better than real war settings. So Battle Lore. But as you and I were looking at the list, Mandi, we noted that in 2006, a lot of the games released that year, like just compared to today, were heavily weighted to war games. A lot 100%. Of war games came out in 2006, which I found fascinating. But Battlelore is there. It is kind of Wargame light. The Memoir 44 system is incredibly approachable and very board gamery, and Battlelore does it well. And it's a lot of fun to play out your cards, play out your troops, attack. Solid, solid game. I really like Battlelore.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then finally, I know, I don't like it. I don't like, on one hand, Mandi, when we're talking, we're like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. It's fine for us not to have the same number of games.
Sure, of course. It's yeah, I mean, different times, different things for both of us, right, at that time. So, yeah.
But I don't like it. Now that we're into it, I don't like doing this.
It's good. I think it's good. For me, I'm happy to take it in because some of these games, like, I'm familiar with, I've never played. So
yeah, but I don't like it. I want to go back and forth more. We're gonna do this differently.
Sure,
if this comes up again,
to be fair, though, I did monopolize the beginning because I kind of was doing the talking with your list. So
not even close. Not even close. But anyway, my last game of 2006 games is Traders of Osaka.
I know this game.
Yeah, this is a re-implementation of Traders of Carthage, set obviously in Osaka, Japan. It is a card-driven game where you are moving goods, collecting goods, set collection, drafting, and speculate. You're like, it's almost a stock game in a way where you're betting on the value of different goods as you're moving them around, and it's brilliant. It's so good. It's really quick too. It is one of those games that comes in a relatively small box. It's relatively straightforward to play, but it's so satisfying. In 30, 40 minutes, you have a very satisfying gameplay experience out of a small box. It's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go. So Traders of Osaka, 2006. Weird year for us, Mandi.
Yeah, like I looked at the list, I'm like, yeah. I had a lot of that. And that's actually the first time I think that's happened. I had a lot of that reaction for 2006, which now makes me concerned. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like that might have been a year, like just based on some of the games that I did see. I'm now curious to do a deep dive to see what kind of themes. Like I know we did see a lot of war games, but then I know that will lead me down a different rabbit hole. So I'm just curious to see what's going on.
Yeah. I love it. And I really love that you were really honest. You're like, it just wasn't a year for me. And even though we play a ton of games, Mandi, nobody can play every game. And it makes sense that sometimes you'll have lighter years than others. I think that that's great. Woo! All right. But not everybody can be like Mandi, right? Thank goodness. What was your 2006 like? I mean, quite frankly, chances are there's some of you listening or watching right now where you weren't even playing games by 2006, which is totally fine. And that's part of the reason why we talked about, like, yeah, let's go back 20 years, because maybe there are games that people just weren't playing games at that point and would like to know more about. That's kind of how I feel about Raw and Write. Maybe there are roll and writes that, other people don't have. So this is a great one to try.
Exactly.
So tell us about, were you playing games in 2006? And if not, that's okay. If so, hey, what were your tops? You can always email us your thoughts if you want to keep them secret and private between us at saltandsassgames@gmail.com, or comment in our Board Game Geek Guild thread. That's Guild 4131 on BoardGameGeek.com. And a great place to chat to us there.
Yeah.
Mandi, where else can they reach us?
Well, you could be watching us right now on, the social areas. So you might be watching us on the YouTube or maybe the Twitch, where you can check out my Act 1 of solo play of Hoplomachus Victorum. And you can find us at Twitch and YouTube at Salt and Sass Games. That's Salt and Sass Games. We're also on Blue Sky. We got a little professional there, so we shortened it to just Salt and Sass. So that's Salt and Sass. You can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram at 613Mandi. That's Mandi with an I. How about you, Suzanne?
And you can find me on Blue Sky. I am at 425 Suzanne. As always, it is a pleasure and privilege to be podcasting with you today. Thank you very much for being part of our extended gaming family and for making us part of yours. More than ever, being one of your neighbors, even virtually, is just very powerful and meaningful, and we appreciate you. Don't forget also to comment on Mandi's game, The Gauntlet, like in that guild, or email, feel free. Let us know, how did you do? How did you sort it out? Is Mandi an evil genius for freaking putting Council of Four after White Castle? Ah,
I knew what I was doing.
diabolical. You're just troublemaker. So please let us know how you did on that. Mandi, thank you for pulling that together. I thought it was fun. And hey, until next episode, back in 2 weeks, just take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, and play a lot of games. We'll see you next episode.
Bye.
Promotional consideration has been provided by game publishers in the form of review copies of games. If you'd like to support the podcast, please check us out on coffee.com/Salt and Sass Games. Thank you for your support. We are also part of the Goonhammer Media network. Check out more of their content on media.Goonhammer.com. Salt and Sass is produced with love by Mandi and Suzanne, and we'll be back next episode with more salt, more sass, and more games.